welcome to your website handover walkthrough. So in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make changes to your website, add blogs and just the general navigation through the back end of your website. So on the left here you'll see that we've got a list of different menu items. So website, which is where you would go in to have a look at all the pages on your website. Selling is if you have a shop. Marketing is if you're using email campaigns, or for marketing tools is where you would set up your pop-up or an announcement bar or adjust your SEO appearance. Contacts is if you are making sales or have subscribers sign up to your newsletters through Squarespace. This is where you come in and have a look at those lists. Analytics is where Squarespace has their own analytics, but you can also link in with Google Analytics. So this is where you would come to have a look at that information. And scheduling is if you're using Acuity Scheduling or Squarespace Scheduling to work through your appointment calendar. So if you're using a service outside of those, you need to log in to those platforms. So this one here is just if you're using Acuity or Squarespace Scheduling. Asset library, this is where you can add in photos, documents, that kind of thing. And then settings is pretty self-explanatory, where you come in and have a look around in your settings. So I highly recommend going through each of these areas and clicking through and having a look. Then down the bottom here we have a help section. Squarespace is really great with their articles as well as video tutorials. So if there's anything that I'm missing, you're welcome to come in here and click help and type in what it is that you're needing help with, and they also have a forum there as well, so keep that in mind if you ever need help. So to navigate through your website, you can either click through the pages on the left hand side here, or if you're not in edit mode, you can actually use your top navigation menu or use the buttons that are on the actual website. So for this example, I'll click on the About page. If you're wanting to go in and edit anything on the page, you click on this top edit button and it will open. And it's really just as simple as clicking in the text box and changing any of the text that's in there. So with this you have different options for your fonts. So the paragraph is usually in one type of font and heading is in a second font. You only have the option to use two fonts, and that's so that your website doesn't look messy. The sizes, so heading 1 is the largest and heading 4 is the smallest. When it comes to SEO, you need to keep in mind that you're not to have more than one heading 1 size on the page, because search engines rank information on these heading sizes. So don't overdo it with the sizes, with using heading 1. You can use 3 and 4 as many times as you want, but go sparingly on these two. For changing your image, if the block's already there, double click on the image and you'll see the image pop up. You can also add in image alt text there as well, and you can change the shape by clicking on the design. So that's how you change images and text. For buttons, same thing. If you double click on a button, you can either do it as a page that's already in there. So if you start typing, you'll see a whole list of all the pages that are available on the website. Or if you're wanting to go to an external link, you click on web address and you type the web address in. Be sure to press save and then exit. And that is how you add in text and adjust images. Blogs are a little bit different. So these layouts are still sort of in the old version of Squarespace, and what I mean by that is if I add a new blog in by pressing the plus button, pop your title in. I've just got some text I'm going to just repeat over. You'll see it's a little bit different to the other pages in that you can't grab this box and like freely move it. The new version of Squarespace uses something called Fluid, and this is basically not fluid. So it works on a stacking type blocks like this. So I've just added in an image, and I'm just going to grab any photo. So if you're wanting to have the image, have the text wrap around the image, it's a little bit different to what you would do on a normal page. So basically you would put the image above the text, and then you'll see my cursor turns into a hand. I'm going to grab that image and move it down slightly. If it's showing a blue box, that means it'll wrap around like this. If you have it off to the side and you see and it drops as a blue line, it will turn into columns. So if you're wanting that wrapping, you just move it slightly in to the text. You'll see I'm moving it back and forth and it's going from a line to a box. And then if you're wanting to adjust the size, grab the edge and move it in and out. I'm not sure why they haven't updated their blogs to the Fluid Builder yet, but even if you were to just duplicate one of the blogs that I've placed into your website already, you can just use that. So I'm going to exit. Before I exit out of here actually, it's already gone out anyway. So when you're doing a new blog, you just click on these three buttons and say settings, and you want to make sure that your URL is accurate and not too long. You can put in your excerpt, and you want to make sure that you have this image here as well. It's not going to pick up the image that's within the blog to feature as the thumbnail, so you need to add it in here. Then here is where you can change it back to draft or schedule it, or put it for a certain time to go out. And you can add tags and categories in here as well, or link it as a featured post so that it comes up in a summary block somewhere else on the website. SEO will pull through automatically if you don't put this in, but it is a good idea to come in here and actually, come in here and type it in yourself basically, so that you make sure you're getting the actual keywords in here for that blog post, because this is what's going to show up on the Google listing when people are searching for related topics. This is where you can put in what's called a social image. So this is what shows up on social media. Otherwise, it'll be your logo. Sharing is if you use Squarespace for email campaigns, you can create the email here straight away. And you can also connect your social media account to share it there. Location will just have your business location unless you're wanting to try and extend further out. So say if you're located in Sydney and you're wanting to this article to go further out, maybe to Melbourne, you can sneakily kind of put Melbourne in here, and it can help with showing up in those areas. I don't necessarily recommend doing that though, just keeping it local is probably best. So you can also change obviously the author name. If I haven't added you as a contributor yet, it will automatically come up as my name because I'm the one that's created the website. So you can come in here and click on these three buttons if I haven't already done it, and then just change the author and it should come up to your name once I've added you as a contributor. So that's adding blogs. These pages down the bottom here are active pages on your website. They're just not linked up into the top menu bar at the top, except for this button here. So it's kind of a different feature, but it needs to link to a not linked page. These ones are usually in your footer, and this Instagram page is one that you can actually put on your Instagram profile and have people direct straight to your website rather than going to a third party like Linktree to view your offerings. So if you're wanting to add more buttons in here, you click on Instagram and say edit, and you can just click on one of the other buttons that you've got here already and say duplicate, move it slightly down, double click on it, change the title and where you want it to go. If you're wanting to check the mobile version layout, which obviously is how it's going to show up, you click up the top here and say mobile view. And then you can see how it's laid out. You can see that it hasn't spaced it out correctly, so make sure that you're coming in here and adjusting that spacing. And I'll just delete that one out for now and move these ones back up. So basically I just highlighted both of these, and you can move it up and down if you're wanting to move those. And so the URL for that page is going to be your domain name and then Insta, or whatever you want it to be. So you would, in the profile, you write www.yourdomainname.com/Insta, and then people will come straight to this page here. Okay, so that's navigating around the website and how to make changes. If you've got any further questions with anything, please shoot me an email and I'll try to make another tutorial for it if I feel that it's needed. I'll give you a brief explanation. But as I said, come down here into this help section here. There's super helpful articles, tutorials, videos in here, and also the forum. I'm sure if you've got the questions, someone else is or as well. So make sure you ask it in there too. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching today, and I will speak to you soon.